I'm Edith Espinola. This is the Top Producer Interview. Welcome to joining us today. I'm super excited because today is my guest is Michael Yalung. And I've been working with Michael for several years now. And this month, Michael has been part of the $3 million club for selling over $3 million in sales volume in 1 month. And there was something else that you've accomplished this month. Do you remember what that was?
No idea.
All right. Well, you know what? He's just awesome anyway. So we're going to find out exactly how much. So Michael was a dual career agent for the first 6 years of his career in real estate. And last summer, he was laid off from his pharmaceutical sales job, right? Would it be considered pharmaceutical sales?
Yeah.
Okay. Due to the pandemic. So what I love is that Michael just stepped into being a full-time realtor and went all out for it. And as a result, he's had a very successful career this year. And he's willing to share with us what some of those secrets are to attaining that. So welcome, Michael. I'm so excited to have you here, Michael Yalung. You know, part of what's so fun about this interview is that we're friends and we work together, right? We've known each other for a lot of years. So right now it's kind of like everybody gets to be like a fly on the wall. And I'll try not to bring out any of your secrets. How's that sound?
All right, good.
Okay, great. Well, first of all, you know, congratulations on capping. That's a great achievement. And how many more months do you have until you reset again?
I think it's August.
August, great. So you've got a few more months. And, you know, I know that you have, well, why don't you tell us, what did you do when you were dual career? And then what did you do once you became solo agent? Let's just go into that.
When I was dual career, I worked my you-know-what off. And then now that I'm just in real estate, I work my you-know-what off. Just only on one thing now instead of juggling 2 careers.
Yeah. And so now that you have just the one career to focus on and not the 2, what have you noticed that's different about you now?
Well, I thought that when I got laid off of the medical sales job, that I might actually have a little time freed up in my life. And it's actually been the opposite. I work more than ever now. So.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Because you've been working like, well, since June, when you got laid off to today, how many sites have you closed?
I think you said 15.
Right. I'm glad you're looking at the bio that I created. Oh, I'm keeping track, all right. I'm keeping track because I love to see how you're achieving what it is that you want. I'd love for you if you could move in a little bit closer and be more at a diagonal so people can see your expression too when you talk with me. Okay, that's a little bit better. Yeah, because you know we're so far away, but I want everybody to see you. So you know, you were in real estate previously before coming to Keller Williams. What made you join KW?
When I first got into real estate, it was back in 2006, not as a licensed professional. It was in my spare time. I was learning how to do non-traditional real estate, bird dogging for cash buying investors, learning how to do creative deals. And I was connecting buyer and seller, but I was getting cut out. And so I decided that I was going to get my license and work with people that I could sit with face to face, shake their hands, work traditional standard vanilla real estate, I call it. That was a good choice. And it's actually my dry cleaner guy who told me, he says, you know, I think you should meet Mark Von Kano.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. He specifically said Mark.
Specifically said Mark. So I said, okay. And I actually had been talked into, the first place I hung my license was actually at EXP. That lasted for just a few weeks. And I said, no, this is not for me. I went, I met Mark, and I noticed who was in the office and the vibe and the culture. And I said, oh, this is definitely the place for me.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. And then I know that you came in and you mentored with me. And do you remember who was the one that connected us?
Yes,
Yeah,
Alex.
Alex Stripe. That's
Mhm.
right. He thought that we would be a good match. And, here we are all these years later, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, that was great.
Yep.
So now, being here at KW, what was it that helped you to become a successful agent?
Well, being part-time for all this time, I learned the skills. I built my team. Um, I had a mentor and then now a coach.
Mhm.
Just, even though I'm a solo agent, I'm not alone. Like
Mhm.
I've totally built up a good group of people around me.
Mhm.
Everybody from coach to escrow to lenders to TC to just a whole, it takes a whole team, right?
Right, right. And, as you've built up your team, I noticed that you do have, Chris is doing social media here for you.
Mhm.
How's that working out?
He's consistent, he's creative, his humor cracks me up. It
Mhm.
works.
Yeah, that's great. So would you recommend that people hire him to help with their social media?
Yeah, but not too many people. I don't want him to be too busy for me. Yes, I
That's
recommend
right. Yeah, that's so great. And, I know that, you've gone through the classes and the courses and everything that's encouraged for a newer agent to attend and to do so that you can learn real estate. And so now, we've been working together for a long time, and then you had decided that you wanted to coach with me. And so I'm going to assume that you think coaching is really important, right?
Hmm. Yes, it is.
Right, it is, right?
Yeah.
And you're coaching with me, but whoever people coach with, right? Coaching is very important.
Yes.
All right, cool. So what was it that made you decide that you wanted to get a coach? Because there was this mindset shift at that point, and this was prior to you, um, you know, becoming a solo agent. What was it that made the difference?
I don't know what I read, but I read something somewhere that says no matter what level you're playing, the game you're playing, or working in the business you're working, no matter where you're at, there's always somebody who's higher or above or has more experience. Or we're not recreating the wheel. And so no matter what level we're at, it's always a good idea to have a coach or two or three or five, depending on what you do. And so when you said you were going to offer coaching, I says, well, we work great together. So if I'm going to coach with anyone, it's going to be Edith. And I remember being in your office, signing that piece of paper.
And I got a picture of you doing it.
And I knew once that ink hit that piece of paper, things were going to change.
Yeah. Yeah, it was because you made the commitment to building your business, and by signing that paper, you were stepping into it, right?
Right.
That's awesome. So when we first created, when you first worked on your vision of what kind of a life you wanted to create, right? And that real estate was going to support that life, what was it that was important to you in creating your real estate business to support your vision of your life? Do you remember the three?
So my whys, right? So very first and foremost, my kids.
Mm-hmm.
So they're my everything. Everybody knows that.
Mm-hmm. And you're a single dad?
I'm a single dad.
For all of you ladies interested.
She had to throw it in there. I enjoy, I'm very family oriented.
Yeah.
And I talk to my grandparents every single day, and I like making them proud.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I really found my niche and my passion with this. I enjoy helping people. I enjoy connecting people. I enjoy recognizing opportunities and plugging things in together. And it doesn't even have to be real estate related. It can be a lot of things. I just really enjoy doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Kind of being a connector, right?
Connector.
Yeah, you like knowing people and how you can help them, which is ideal for real estate, right? It's like, oh, I could help you find your house, right? And
Right.
I've got the connections to make it work.
Right.
So I love that. And when you were creating your business plan on what you wanted to do and how you were going to do your real estate, do you remember what you had said?
I said, I want to work in the areas I'm from, where I'm at, and where I want to go,
Mhm.
which is Monterey, San Jose, Los Gatos.
Awesome.
And it's happening.
And it's happening. So, when you had said, okay, so we're going to focus on Monterey, and you had talked about how close you are with your grandparents. And I remember your grandparents in Monterey, and they were so very proud of you. And, I'm really sorry both of them had passed, but selling their home was kind of what got you started in the Monterey area, isn't it?
It is.
Mm-hmm. And what did you notice that you brought that was different from other agents so that when you market to people in Monterey that you could talk about that?
I have to be careful when I say this.
Mm-hmm.
It's where I'm from.
Mm-hmm.
It was my grandparents' home.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to do the absolute best job possible. I was driving down there every day to work on this place. Made sure we did all the inspections up front.
Mm-hmm.
We took care of a lot of the repairs up front. One of the reasons we did that is because my grandfather is retired Army.
Mm-hmm.
And I know there's a lot of military in the area. And I know how difficult it can be for somebody with a VA loan to get a house. So my mom and I agreed, we're going to make this set up so that if somebody comes in with a VA loan, they're going to have a chance. Now, it's not just good for somebody with a VA loan, it's good for everybody in general. But that's where the idea came from. And once I did a listing that way, and you helped me do it the right way, same with Mark, I realized this is a really good way of setting up a listing, doing so much of this up front.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Now, did you end up selling it to a VA client?
No.
VA buyer?
No.
But it was ready in case you got an offer from VA loan.
We did have one offer from a VA loan, but another family
Mm-hmm.
was more competitive.
Right. Okay. That sounds cool. And then, so that's great. And then you took the experience of working there and meeting people, and you were able to build your business on that. And we'll talk a little bit more about how you were able to do that.
Okay.
So now, where you live.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you live?
San Jose.
Okay.
Communications Hill. I knew you were looking for that. Communications Hill.
Yeah, because my nickname for you is King of the Hill. And so the reason why, right? The reason why I think that's really amazing that you're focused, that you're, the King of Communications Hill. Why do I call you that, Michael?
Well, I've been focused on it,
Mm-hmm.
and it's been happening.
Right. And so in the last almost a year, how many homes or units have you sold in your building? 4. And so I thought it was 5. Well, that's okay. If it's
I double-ended 2 of them. 3, 4.
4. Okay. So when what's really nice about that is it's your building. These are people but you purposefully and intentionally market it so that you could own that building, right? That's like where your geographic farm is, right in that area.
Yeah, it just made sense. I mean, I know most of the people in the building, and so we're always talking, and so I'm usually aware of when something's going on, and so it just makes sense to work where I live.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. And what is it that you're doing for your geographic farming?
Just core fact mailers,
Mm-hmm.
social media.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah, and people know you, right? Because you've lived in the building how long?
11 years.
11 years. And I think I remember, like, one of the people you ran into in the parking garage.
I think 2 of my deals started by chatting in the parking garage.
I love that. And then wasn't one like next door to you or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
2 doors down. Yeah.
That's wonderful. I love that. And so then now you're also, wanting to build your business in where you want to live. And you had said that that's Los Gatos. So right now you're working with a buyer, right?
Right.
And give us just a little detail about that one.
He's good for up to their family,
Mhm.
married couple and 2 kids. They're looking to live in this area. They want Los Gatos schools. They're good up to 3.7.
Mhm.
They want a swimming pool or a home that can accommodate a swimming pool. They want a garage that can accommodate a lift because he likes to work on his car.
Mhm.
They want to be walking or biking distance to the kids' schools. And so if I can find him that home and be the winning offer,
Mhm.
that will be my break into the area.
Yeah, I love that. That's great. Well, congratulations on setting the intention of where you came from, where you are now, and where you're going. I love that. That's so very powerful, and your mindset is so very powerful. So, you know, what would you consider is important to being where you're at right now with your business?
Staying focused on my goals and my why. Sometimes I get a little sidetracked or distracted, and I have to remind myself stay on track.
Mhm.
Um, keep keep a mindset of win-win.
Mhm.
Everything I'm involved with should be a win-win. Should be good for everybody involved as much as possible. Um, yeah.
So, what is it that you've learned by having 15 transactions this year, right? Like I know that as you do more transactions, you gain more experience and you gain more wisdom. So, what are some key things that you've learned?
Well, with that experience and that wisdom also comes some confidence, which helps.
Mhm.
Um, but I'm sorry, can you repeat that question again? My brain's going in 10 different directions.
It is.
Yeah.
So, stay here with me. Yeah. So, when what's something that you've learned just by, being as busy as you are?
Yesterday, I took a day off.
And when was the last time you took a day off?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Last time I took a half day off, I remember.
Mm-hmm.
But I have learned that to work at the pace that I'm working at, I need to find a way to feel energized. I need to find a way to rest or recharge. So now that I finally took a day off yesterday, and I know what that feels like.
Yeah, you remember, like, this feels really good, right?
Day off. My kids are so excited. I was like, okay, I need to do this more regularly, more frequently.
That's good. I'm so glad, because that's something that I keep telling you to do, right? It's like you have to recharge, right?
Right.
That's so good. So, okay, so you've learned the importance of recharging and resting, right? What else have you learned? And what's some other wisdom earned?
It's hard to say right now. I don't know. I'm just staying focused, driven, keep moving forward.
Okay. And, like I said, you're a single dad, right? And so what do you do with the kids?
Well, when they're with me, they have school, they have homework. Vanessa has dance, Dominic has jujitsu. Their activities rule my life. But when I have to work, they go with me.
And I remember you telling me, like, it sounds like Vanessa is kind of picking up the vocabulary of being a realtor, right? And her eye is really good. Can you share maybe a little story about that?
So the kids will now walk through a house and they'll count how many bedrooms there are and how many bathrooms there are. And they'll talk about the features of the home. And there was one time where we were in a house with clients, and at the exact right moment, Vanessa looks at the wife and she asks, so what would you rate this home on a scale of 1 to 10?
She's totally listening to you when you're with your clients.
My jaw dropped. I had this like proud dad moment. And she says, oh, I would rate this home a 10.
Yeah.
I love it. And she was going on, and I looked at Vanessa. I was in disbelief, but it was amazing.
That's wonderful.
And so now in the car, we'll talk about things like how it went, how a showing went, what the client's paying attention to, what their reactions are. And Vanessa's learning how to calculate commission.
I love it. She's your best accountability partner, isn't she?
My grandpa
love it.
warned me too. She's gonna ask you how much,
Yeah, how much money you're making from this, huh?
and she did. I said, great.
It's like, it's all daddy's. It's not yours, honey. It's all daddy's.
I had to teach her the difference between gross and net.
Yeah.
Don't look at the gross.
I love that. I love that. So, as a business owner, right, you're talking about the gross and the net, right? So what expenses do you have now that you have, like, you've built your business up to this level? Obviously there's expenses that are involved. So what is it that you've done? What is it that you've chosen to invest in for your business?
There's a time limit on this interview.
Yeah. Only the good things.
Let's just say I reinvest heavily.
Yeah.
And, investing in quality, everything I invest in has to be quality. So whether it's marketing, mailers, whether it's boosting social media posts, the kind of signs I use, the kind of business cards I use, everything I like to keep high quality.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm reinvesting heavily.
Mm-hmm. I love that. So when you do, let's say, okay, so we know that you're investing in like Core Fact, right? And you're investing in social media, and like what do you have when you're doing a listing?
I spend a lot of money on the marketing.
Mm-hmm.
I work with high-level photographers, videographers. I spend money on property websites and QR codes and blasting things out, and I also spend a lot on just taking care of people.
Yeah, building the relationships, right? Nurturing those relationships. Now, what is it that you do to nurture?
Let's just say I take care of things, a lot of things.
Yeah.
I don't want to go into too many of those details, but
Yeah, because you don't want one client to say, hey, wait a minute, take care of that for me, right? But you do take, like, when you go out and it's been a long day, I've seen that occasionally you guys go out for dinner and, and then there's always like a housewarming, congratulation gift. And
people who work with me, whether they're a client or a vendor, people who are working side by side with me, let's just say they don't go hungry. People around me are usually well fed.
Yeah. I love that.
Grandpa Sammy taught me that one.
That's right. Grandpa Sammy. He's wonderful. Hi, Grandpa Sammy. You have a wonderful grandson here. I love him. He's wonderful. So, because I know he's going to be watching this, right? Yeah. All right. Well, Michael, I know that your mindset about becoming successful and doing what it is that you need to do, it stems from, what is it, the martial arts that you had practiced?
Oh, when I was younger, I studied karate, judo, jiu-jitsu, and boxing.
Mm-hmm. And what is it that you learned about mindset from those sports?
Oh, there's so much. But in a nutshell, I'd have to say, just keep working, keep learning, keep growing. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, but just keep going. Mm-hmm. I would have to say that another thing that's really important is that I learned at one of my previous companies that when you put people first, your paycheck just follows. When you do the right thing, your paycheck just follows. Mm-hmm. So I just feel like if I keep moving forward, providing service. I always say I'm not in law enforcement, but my job is to serve and protect, right? Serve and protect my clients. Do the right things, the paycheck will follow. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's like, do what you love and the money will follow, right? Yeah, that's wonderful. And so, let's see if anybody has any questions.
Sure.
Okay, cool. Does anybody have any questions? Let's see, I've got some of the chat. All right.
Thanks, Kat.
Does anyone have any questions for Michael right now? Okay.
I do.
Oh, great. Hi, Kate.
Hey, Kate.
Hey. Hi, Michael. I have a question. How big is your farm Because you mentioned earlier that you have 3 areas that you're farming, being Monterey, San Jose, and Los Gatos. How big geographically or household size are these farms?
500, 500, 1,000.
Okay.
500 Monterey, 500 San Jose, and my next mailer going in Los Gatos is going to be 1,000.
So how often do you send out? So you mentioned that you do Corfact, right? You always only use Corfact, or use other services to those farms, and how often do you mail to them?
Mostly use Corfact. My next mailer is going to be a letter, a buyer need letter.
Mm-hmm.
To be straightforward with you, like I have a certain rhythm that I'd like happening right now.
Being?
Sorry, this is my first time on this side of virtual land, okay? I feel like looking at you on my screen is doing the job. It's not.
No, look up at the camera.
So, there's certain things that I'm supposed to be doing right now, and it's not being delivered at the moment. But so what my goal is and what should be being put out right now is not happening.
Okay, and before it was not happening, how often would you mail those? Like every month, every 2 weeks?
Let me just tell you what my plan is. That's easier. So I want to hit my geographies twice a month.
Okay.
And I want to keep people current on, what's listed, what's pending, what's sold. Right now I have buyers that are hunting, so I'm going to send out a buyer need letter. Yeah.
Okay, it's a couple times a month in each farm. Okay, that's all I needed to know. Thank you.
Sure.
Thanks, Kate. So Sandy Sheldon, she asked, what was the tipping point? How far in were you before things flipped, and how did you know?
What was the tipping point? I don't understand that.
So,
you're putting in your time and putting in your time and putting in your time. And then all of a sudden one day it just kind of, you get the traction and things start just escalating.
My tipping point was being laid off. I feel like I got shoved off the cliff, right? And I'm falling off this cliff, and I feel like God whispered in my ear, I gave you wings, dummy, use them. So that's when I just went.
Does that kind of answer that, Sandy?
Well, not really, but that's okay.
So I could help to explain what that is. So, Michael had been driven to succeed as an agent, but when he was laid off, right, then it was like he was given the opportunity and the freedom to fully pursue real estate. And he had to do that because his big why is to take care of his family, right? So what he did was he had the mindset of, now real estate is the only career I have. It's the only source of income. So I'm going all out and I'm doing everything I possibly can to succeed. So it was a big mindset for him that was the tipping point. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Okay, so would you agree, Michael? Okay, so part of having that mindset of I'm going all in, right? Like no more like this is the supporting career. Now this is the career. What would you say that you invested in immediately to help you build your business, to get more traction?
First thing I did was hire a coach.
Yeah. Well, luckily I was already your coach when it happened, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, I think that, and I know that we did work closely together when that happened, right? And so what else, right, did you do? Like you had decided that you were going to become more visible, because being in another business, another career, you weren't as visible in real estate as you could have been.
Right. I didn't want to rub it into my employer's face that I'm out here selling houses. So I kind of flew under the radar a little bit. But now that I'm all in real estate, I really am living out loud now. So I opened up. I'm, not afraid to boost my posts and market. And I hired a couple of people to help me with marketing. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's really good, right? So it's like you invested in marketing because now you could live out loud, and what freedom that is to live out loud and to be authentically who you are. And in doing that, right, like in investing in the marketing, now you're online, now you have ads, now you have you're doing mailers, right? So those are kind of the things that the services that you had when you first started, to really do your push. So does that answer your second question, Sandy?
Yes.
Okay, great. All right, so thank you. So, I have you here today because you have shown that capping can be accomplished, that you can build your business. Like if we were to look at, like this being your first year, Michael, because, it really is your first year as a solo agent. Like you've done 15 transactions, you've capped, your income is, 6 figures, right? And I won't just say exactly how much, right? We don't want to say that, but you're very successful right now. And what would you say to the agents who are there who haven't capped yet, that want to cap or need encouragement to get to the level of being considered a top producer, to get to the level of where business starts to flow? Because you're in the flow now, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah, like you've had 3 transactions in escrow at once. I think we were even like close to having 4, but what was closing and opening one at the same time, right?
Closed 5 sites in April and signed a new listing and got one in escrow. So April was pretty big.
Yeah, so that would be 7 in April, right? So that's really amazing. What would you give as advice to the agents that are watching right now?
I think, well, we're all different, right? So for me, it was just focusing on my why, what's important, focusing on doing the right things, because I truly believe by doing that, paycheck will follow. Win-win business. I think, was it Shapiro said earlier, keep everything, all cards face up, I call it. Disclose everything, communicate clearly and honestly. I think one really important thing that has helped me recently is, I say a loan is more than a rate and an offer is more than a number. There's a lot more that goes to each. And in my offers that have been accepted, winning in competitive situations recently, a lot of it is so much more than just the dollar amount that we're offering, right? There's terms, there's your communication with the other side, there's doing what you say you're going to do. I can't tell you how many times somebody told me, well, you weren't the highest offer, but you communicated very clearly, and I appreciate that, and you're behaving in a more predictable manner, and
Yeah, so you're being, you're being very authentically you.
Mhm.
You're being authentically you with your clients, and you're being authentically you with the agents, right? With your clients, in this environment, especially with offers being, multiple offer situations, prices going astronomically higher than the listing price, having a listing agent tell you, you were very professional, and we kept in touch in the communication. You got this accepted, or we're going to counter only you because of that, right? Because you showed your professionalism. And then to your clients, you're able to clearly and articulately say what it is that they need to know about the market, right? Like, the asking price could be $799, but the sales price is really going to be $1 million, and you're able to show them so that they feel confident and comfortable making an offer at $1 million. correct? Or even a little bit higher because you've educated them properly. I think that's really key to being a successful agent, especially now. So that's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. Kat is saying that you're an excellent example of persistence, determination, and the best organizational skills. So do you have any tips on how they can stay on track like you?
Thanks, Kat.
Hire a coach.
Well, persistence, determination, yeah, you're either wired that way or you're not, right? But organization skills.
Like, are you using Google Calendar? Do you have any special CRM? Are you fully onto command? Like, what are you doing? Or is it still paper and pen the best way to go?
We want to make them look good, Kat.
No, anything, whatever works, you know. Like, I
No,
love
no,
the
that's-
paper
that's
calendar.
Okay,
I
no,
think.
I'm gonna tell you my one thing that I absolutely need to keep me on track, and that's the calendar in my iPhone. Like, I put everything in the calendar in my iPhone, and I set myself always at least 2 alerts. I absolutely need that calendar.
Yeah, so you live and die by that calendar.
Mhm.
I love
Yeah,
it.
but when you get into all this other technology, Edith knows, anything computer related, I stay away as much as possible.
Yeah, I do.
I'd much rather spend my time face to face or on the phone or communicating. Anything behind this thing, no.
Yeah. Yeah, and I know that one of the things with your calendar, right, that helps to keep you in integrity. You have it on your calendar, you say you're going to do it, and then you do it.
Right.
When you say you're going to do it. So I think that's one of the key things to keeping you on track.
Mhm.
Cool. Okay, thanks, Kat. Did that answer your question?
Yes, calendar, everything. I think that's a bold law too. It's like, if it's not in your calendar, it doesn't exist.
Absolutely.
Right.
Look at you. You go bold. Okay, so Carlos asks, I noticed you started your first transactions building relationships with your neighborhoods. Is that true?
Building relation. Well, yes, I'm very community oriented. So yeah, a lot of my business happens I'm just talking to people, and opportunities arise to make connections, and it happens.
And I have to say that I watch you when you were in coaching with Edith, and you were very powerful, man. You really talk and you really say what you mean, and have the ability to come through and help people. So that's amazing.
Thank you, Carlos.
Yes.
Oh, thank you for those nice words, Carlos. He really is, right? He's really good at communicating, and he is a good man.
Yes.
Like you. Anybody else have any other questions?
Edith, it's Susanna. I have a question. Hi, Michael.
Susanna.
How are you?
Very good.
So I know you do a lot of engagement in your in your community and where you live, like Communication Hill. I'm just wondering, is it more like engaging face to face with your community at events, or are you using anything like farming, mailers, and cold realty to get phone numbers and to call within your farm?
I do send out mailers in my community,
Okay.
and I do just interact with people.
Okay. So you're not doing any calling into your farm using like Cold Realty or Mojo or anything like that?
I don't know what that is.
Okay.
Yes, so that you would just be like doing cold calls.
Yeah, cold
No,
calls into your.
sorry,
Okay.
I'm not a cold call guy.
Yeah.
For those who do it, good for them. I don't like it done to me, so I won't. I don't like somebody knocking on my door unexpectedly. I don't like what I call junk calls, so I don't do that to people.
Okay. Cool.
I do, however, reach out because I genuinely care. Like, I'll check on people, especially during the pandemic.
Yeah.
I wanted to know how people are doing. Are you okay? Do you need anything? That's genuine, sincere. That's not seeking, it's not doing sales.
Yeah, calling with a heart. Yeah, I get it.
Thank you.
Perfect. Yeah, you're awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Michael, your business is relationship based, correct?
Highly relationship based.
Right. And that also includes the new relationships that you nurture that come as online leads, that they initially come as online leads to you, but you're able to nurture the relationship at a truly authentic level to where there is a relationship as you continue to work with them, right? And then they become part of your database and they're part of your sphere of influence. And more importantly, they're part of your circle of friends. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, a lot of my clients become my friends.
I love that. And so, you know, I think that your approach to marketing is very much similar to mine. It's like your relationship base, you build the relationships as you go along and meet new people, because, you know, strangers are just people, they're just friends that you haven't met yet, right? And so you continue to share what your successes are, your evidence of success, your thoughts, your mindset, the market, what you can educate with people. And so you put that out into the world for your marketing, right? And then the people who resonate with you, they come in and they reach out to you, and then the relationship is built, correct?
Right.
Yeah. So you're like this beacon. Michael, you love. Michael, you love. Michael, you love.
Well, what I feel like is that if we're always broadcasting, right? Kind of like a radio, when you want to tune into something, you'll tune into it to listen, right? So if I'm always broadcasting, when somebody's ready and they want to, they'll tune into my frequency and come my way.
I love that. And I also want to recognize that you're tuned into the frequency of wealth, right?
I suppose you could say that.
You're so funny. I'm just going to be a little bit modest.
Well, if I'm going to buy a house in this neighborhood, I better be.
That's right. That's right. But I love it, right? Because it's like you're tuned into the frequency of wealth. And what would you say, you know, for people who wanted to like try and test the waters and get into that frequency of wealth? Do you know what one of the things is that you do that you could share with them?
Learning the mindset started with a lot of reading, reading a lot of books. But I do daily. My grandparents gave me a book that I start every day reading a one-page prayer. That's how I start every single day.
So you started by going into your spirituality and being in gratitude, right?
Right.
I love that. That's great. I think that gratitude is so key, because when you start your day or you end your day in gratitude, it's kind of the way of like counting your blessings, right? And as you count your blessings, then you start to see more blessings and more opportunity come to you. And I think that's where you're at. Because as you're counting your blessings, as you're counting your successes, you're also recognizing opportunities are coming, and you see them as, oh, this is a wonderful opportunity. And it's not just an opportunity to sell a home, but an opportunity to gain a relationship, right?
Right.
Yeah. I see that that's really key to your success and key to your wealth building. So good job.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's see. Sandy, are the online leads from paid ads or other services?
So, like I said, yeah, always broadcasting, right? So there's Facebook boosting, there's Instagram, there's LinkedIn. But I also invested in being Google verified and screened. That's been a big help. What else?
Yeah, you've been really, focusing on doing the online ads, so that's good. And then like Susanna, like you were saying, and Michael had said that, you always be broadcasting, right? And it's true. I mean, who you are is seen by the world, right? So the more authentically that you can be, and you get comfortable in that, then there's the phrase, your vibe attracts your tribe, right? So if you be as authentically you as possible, and you focus on being successful in the career of choice, and you focus on having the frequency of wealth because it's going to fund the lifestyle of your dreams, then you're going to broadcast who you are at all times. And that's how you attract the people who want to work with you. Because isn't it really amazing that you're working with people that are very, they're very much like you, wouldn't you say?
Sometimes.
Just having your facial expression made me remember. Okay, not everybody is like you, right? But we all have people that we've worked with or attempted to work with that are not like us, right? But we thought that we could help them anyway.
Right.
So that's a smooth way to say that. Bernard's asking, what does Google verified mean, and how do you do it? What's the benefit to being verified?
Well, that means I allow Google to do a background check on me, so that when somebody looks me up and they see that I'm Google screened and verified, that I'm not just some random. Like I have been, I've allowed them to screen me. So somebody can trust that when they call and they know that I'm me, and they know that it's, safe bet to meet with me somewhere versus, I don't know, some random, I don't know.
Well, I mean, when somebody's looking for a realtor, they want somebody that they can trust, right?
Right.
And so by being Google verified, it gives them that assurance that you have been researched, at least by Google. And, if anybody's going to find anything on you, it's Google, right?
It's a good way to put it. I don't know. All I know is that I thought it was a good idea. I signed up for it, and it's actually been working very well.
I love that. That's great. Any last questions, you guys? Oh, okay. Susanna, if you haven't been around Michael, he's an incredible human, so calming and peaceful to be around, and also emits this incredible energy. That's
Thank
so
you,
true, Susanna. Oh, right? That's such a sweetheart. Well, it's really cool because she can see that in you because she has that herself, right? So it's wonderful. Okay, so Michael Yalung,
Edith Espinola.
successful realtor. You've done it. You're a top producer, $3 million club, 15 transactions in less than a year. You are on track to cap again. You're going to, in your new listing, you're doing this Keller offers. Is that
The ready to sell program?
The ready to sell program. So I'm really looking forward to see how that works for you. And in a nutshell, what is that program?
So I think a lot of you have done the training already. If you haven't, I highly recommend it. So to put us on an even playing field with Compass, I believe, we're doing the ready to sell program. So without any out-of-pocket cost to the seller, they can leverage their equity or give them a line of credit to renovate the property before we put it on the market. I'm actually really excited about that. I think I'm the first agent in our office to do this.
I think you are, but I did see that MVK and David have an ad out for it as well.
Okay.
But I think you're the first one.
Actually do it. So I'm going to keep everybody updated and posted as to how it's going. I have a listing in Santa Clara that I picked up, and it's my neighbor's parents, and they said yes to utilizing this program. In fact, they waited for me to get certified in the program, and yeah, it's in progress now. I'm going to have a lot of coverage before, during, and after. So I'll offer a full scope of what it looks like from front to finish.
I love that. That's so great. So Kate, who was in the PC team with you, Michael is also simply a cool dude, and we love him. We love you,
Thanks,
Kate. And then Sandy, thanks, Michael, for sharing. This is super helpful. All right, so, what words of wisdom would you like to close this out with?
Number one, if you don't have a coach, I highly recommend you get one.
You happen to know one right here too.
Let's see. Number
Well,
two.
you know what, Michael?
Mm.
What does having a coach do for you? Because there's all kinds of coaches out there,
Mhm,
right?
mhm.
And so what does having a coach do for you so that people know what to look for when hiring one?
First thing right off the bat is giving me just a feeling of I'm not alone.
Mhm.
You know, anytime I have questions, problems, I run into something I've never run into before,
Mhm.
you're always there to help. And that just boosts my confidence. So when I'm talking to people, they're asking me questions I don't know the answer to. I'm okay with saying, I don't know the answer to that,
Perfect.
but I can get the answer for you quickly. And you're usually the first person I call.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
love that.
that's very helpful because if I felt like I didn't have anyone to ask or turn to,
Mhm.
I might not be as confident about it.
Mhm. So it's nice having that support there, right?
Right.
And then I know also is, I'm committed to walking with you on your path towards success, right? Like I'm like the little angel on your shoulder that's encouraging you to believe in yourself and remember that this was the path that you chose. So if you've committed to, like, let's say a 411 or what your goals are, like I'm there to remind you why you want to continue to do that, right? And you're really self-driven. So it's nice that you're doing that. But so my role has been to remind you about life-work balance, right?
Well, you have helped me more than just business. You've been with me through ups and downs in life in general.
Mm-hmm.
So you helped me with a lot more than just business.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm
And I'm
honored to
grateful.
be there. Oh, I'm honored to do that for you. Thank you for allowing me to work with you on that, right? Because we bring who we are to our business. So if our life is good, right? If everything is in flow, then our business is in flow. So if we were to look at that, looks like your life's in flow, Michael.
I'm grateful.
Yeah.
It feels pretty good right now.
Yeah, that's so amazing. So what else would you say then as words of wisdom to, close this off and to recognize where you've been and where you sit today?
I would just say none of us are alone in this. We all have, this office is exceptional. It's amazing. I've been in a lot of other offices. I haven't seen another one like this, and we're not alone. We have amazing people around us, friends, families, coaches, mentors. This is a unique and a special office. I'm grateful to be here.
That's awesome. I love it.
Mhm.
So Vicky says, congrats on your success, Michael. Thanks for sharing your insights. So thank you so much for being here today, Michael. I'm looking forward to doing this with you again. It'll be cool to see where you go in this next year, right? That's exciting. So thank you everybody for joining us. Remember that you can be successful if you put your mind to it. Just put your mind and your heart to building a business that funds the life that you dream of and that you can create. So, Abraham Lincoln says, instead of predicting the future, create it. So go ahead and choose what it is that you want to do, how you want to live, what kind of business you want, and then be purposeful and intentional in following it. Thanks so much for being here. Bye.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Edith.
You're welcome. Bye, Kate. Bye, guys.